The Cincinnati Open is finally concluded, and it's been a roller coaster that's thrown players' hopes of progressing into the air. Two of these happen to be tennis superstars Nick Kyrgios and Alex de Minaur, who are both knocked out in pitiful fashion. Though each had their own problems to contend with, the results were the same. We'll be covering that and more in today's video. Firstly, the downfall of the Aussies. Nick was once ranked number 15 in the ATP World Rankings, but his recent performances have left much to be desired. That was exemplified by his recent outing at the Cincinnati Open, where he barely made an impression with audiences. His final outing in the tournament was his matchup against close friend Taylor Fritz, during which it was clear that his body just couldn't keep up, suffering an emphatic defeat at the hands of Fritz. Kyrgios lost 6-3 and 6-2, an absolute stomp. It took just 50 minutes for the American to shut him down, leading many to wonder whether Kyrgios will be up to par for the upcoming final Grand Slam. Fellow Australian Alex de Minaur, who is the country's current number one, also didn't fare too well in the competition either. The very same day that the Canberran was taken down, de Minaur suffered the same fate. He was pitted against Canadian Felix Auger-Aliassime, who easily tamed the Sydney native. Secondly, what spectators thought of Kyrgios. Kyrgios is known for being a big personality on the court. He's one of the most vocal players ever and doesn't shy away from expressing his feelings. However, during this tense match, it seemed as though his capacity for bluster had been waning. Many wondered if the previous breakthrough matches he'd had this season were beginning to catch up with him, taking a toll on his physical abilities and preventing him from performing at the level people have come to expect. And the crowd was clearly not happy with the way he played, with several boos rising up from the audience once the match was concluded. A former US Open finalist also weighed in on the disappointing performance. Greg Rosetsky noted on Amazon Prime that he doesn't think Kyrgios is capable of playing consistently on a week-to-week basis. He pointed out the booing at the match, stating that the audience didn't seem to think he'd given it his best shot either. However, he does think that the Australian deserves some slack because of his troublesome left knee and previous solid matches. However, Kyrgios seemed to be doomed from the start. Though he'd won 16 of his previous 18 matches, he was distracted by thoughts of imminent failure, stating that it was only a matter of time before everything unraveled. Next, Kyrgios' temper. We might have said that Kyrgios didn't have much of a fight left in him, both in terms of his tennis game and his bluster, but that doesn't mean his last game in the tournament was without its share of bumps. Kyrgios started his rough run with a recurring argument with the umpire Renaud Lichtenstein about how he wasn't able to control spectators moving around during points. It's reported that he asked the umpire why he couldn't do his job properly. Lichtenstein's response was to remain calm and continue on with his job. Kyrgios was also cautioned 3 times by Lichtenstein about his use of abusive language during the game. However, he wasn't served with an official code violation from his disregard for those warnings. Now, de Minaur's defeat. As Kyrgios fell, so too went de Minaur, and on the same day. He was given similar treatment to Kyrgios in his match against Auger-Aliassime, losing by the same 6-3, 6-2 scoreline. That almost makes it seem like fate, but to say that would discredit the amazing skill that Aliassime displayed. De Minaur might be the top player in Australia, but he's often found it hard to compete with other toppers on the court. That isn't to say he didn't put effort into the match. Even when he was down 4-0 in the second set, having already lost the first, he still tried to launch a comeback, but that proved to be futile in the face of the Canadian's prowess. By the end of the match, Aliassime had decorated himself with 22 winners. At just 22 years old, the Canadian had the skill and the power to break de Minaur's serve 4 times in the second set. That's in stark contrast to de Minaur's single break when things seemed to be truly at its worst, capping things off with a rocketing forehand that secured him the point. Unfortunately, that set was to be the last he picked up, with Aliassime breaking for a 5-2 lead and then blazing off to victory in a total of 78 minutes. Lastly, what's next for de Minaur? De Minaur might not have the best run in Cincinnati, but he's still got opportunities to live up to his ranking of number 1 in Australia. Most notable is the upcoming Davis Cup, set to begin in the middle of September. De Minaur won both of his single matches in the qualifying stages and is now set to lead the team in the group stages. He'll be joined by Thanasi Kokkinakis, Alexei Popyrin, and Jason Kubler as other options for singles matches. Unfortunately, Nick Kyrgios has opted out of playing in the Davis Cup, citing the need to spend more time with his family. Leaders of the qualifying stages team, Leighton Hewitt, expressed disappointment at this decision, but looks forward to watching de Minaur lead the team in Hamburg. Other news. First up, Kerber to miss US Open. Angelique Kerber, a former world number 1 and 3-time major champion, recently announced that she won't be competing in the US Open and will also be off the court for the next several months. The announcement came from her Instagram account, with the post showing a set of emojis, including a baby bottle and a quip about 2 against 1 not being fair competition. That, of course, implied that she was pregnant and was taking time off to rest and protect the baby. She said that she'd be taking time off from traveling the world as a tennis player, and that it's for the best possible reason. Her former and current tennis peers quickly responded with positive comments, with tennis titan Ana Ivanovic stating that she was really happy for her. Having won at the US Open in 2016, shooting her to the number 1 position in the world rankings, Kerber said that the US Open had a special place in her heart. She also added that she was planning to return to the WTA Tour whenever possible. Next, Draper takes down Fognini. At this year's Winston-Salem Open, Jack Draper made quite the statement when he took down former world number 9 Fabio Fognini from Italy. It was his first match since his breakthrough quarterfinal run at the Montreal Masters 1000 tournament, and it's clear that he doesn't want to slow down. Draper came out swinging at the beginning of the third and final set, sprinting to a 5-0 lead. However, it wasn't so easy to secure it, with Fognini forcing him to save 7 break points to do so. The set also began with the first game going in the Italian's favor, up 2 points from Draper, though the Briton managed to escape that in the end. He then erased 5 break chances in a 5-deuce fifth game, which was the longest in the entire 2-hour match. In total, he managed to break on 6 out of 10 chances on return, while he saved 10 out of 13 break points. After the match, Draper moved up 3 spots in the rankings to sit at the number 52 position. Now, he's set to face former world number 3 Dominic Thiem of Austria. Thiem secured his place in the third round by retiring the top seed, Grigor Dimitrov, in the second set of their showdown. Lastly, retiring Williams speaks about future. Serena Williams is without a doubt one of the greatest tennis players in history, having won 23 major singles titles as well as 14 doubles championships. She's probably why so many young players first took up the sport. But everything must eventually come to an end, and Williams has stated that the US Open will be the last time she holds her racket. She's already won the tournament a total of 6 times, and the event might be the best place for her to end her career. Thankfully, even after more than 2 decades in the sport, she said that she'll always be involved with it in one form or the other, and we have to say we're very happy about that. After all, what's tennis without the Serena Williams? That's a wrap for this video. Were you surprised by the knockouts of the Aussies? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. See you in the next one.